In this video, I'm going to be reviewing Vampire's Way to Psychic Self-Defense, Overcome All Negative Energy by John Kreiter. This is one of the most interesting books. It is short, it's easy to read, you could read it in a day. I've gone through this and really studied it, and I've applied this to my life, and I've received a lot of benefit from doing this. So anytime I find something that works for myself, I talk about it, because if it can work for me, there's a good chance it can work for you. So I've read a decent amount of psychic self-defense books over the years, and nothing has come close to this little tome, or this little book, excuse me, which is, again, it's easy to read, it's well laid out, it's beautifully written, it's not filled full of a bunch of superfluous nonsense, like a lot of books that are just filled full of filler. A lot of the modern occult books and alchemy books and things of that nature nowadays, the authors just fill the books full of a bunch of just clutter and just words so that they can produce their books and get them out there. So I love something that has quality. I love something nowadays that is produced with care and that is beautifully written. I love books. Unfortunately, I've read so many of them, and a lot of them are just nonsense. I hate to say it, I'm just being honest. So John Kreiter's work, not just Vampire's Way, but his books like Magnum Opus, his books like Overcoming the Archon Through Alchemy, his books on servitors, beautifully written. I have most of his books not only in digital format, but in paperback as well, and I like both of them. I like the feel of paperback, but the ebooks are beautiful as well. They have beautiful illustrations. So this is a book on psychic self-defense. It's a book on energy work. In my opinion, this is a beautiful alchemy book as well. It teaches you how to utilize energy. It teaches you how to utilize negative energy for your own benefit, which is beautiful, because if you read a lot of the modern or even older psychic self-defense books, what they teach you is, build a shield around you, an energetic shield, and constantly be on guard, and constantly do banishing rituals and lesser banishing rituals of the pentagram and all this stuff. And that just takes way too much work, and it's just exhausting. So the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, in my opinion, has multiple flaws to it, and I'm not going to get into that in this video. I've talked about that in a previous video that I put together on pentagram rituals. I think pentagram rituals are incredibly beneficial for restructuring your subconscious mind, but I do not suggest the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. I recommend the pentagram ritual as laid out in Philip Cooper's book, The Magician, a study in effective magic. Still one of the greatest books on magic ever written, if not the best, at least for practical magic. But this book, folks, teaches you how to utilize negative energy like a predator instead of pushing it away and being afraid of it. It teaches you how to utilize it as a fuel source. It completely turns the subject of or topic of psychic self-defense on its head, and it's just totally refreshing and unique. And it teaches you how to alchemically feed on negative energy by bringing it into you, transmuting it, and then delivering it through your system. So a lot of people are going to have some issues with that, because a lot of people have been programmed to think that negative energy is this horrible thing. Negative energy can be transmuted, folks. It can be utilized. It can be transformed. It can be transmuted. And through a process of alchemical transmogrification, you can take negative energy and actually utilize it. So this book teaches you how to do that through a process known as reverse breathing. I'm not going to get too detailed in this video about it, because I want you to buy it and read it if you're interested. I believe in this man's work. I think you should support him. Beautiful, beautiful stuff here, folks. And again, in a day and age where there's so much garbage and superfluous nonsense in books, this is an awesome place to start. If you're interested in alchemy and learning how to practice real alchemy, I would suggest buying Vampire's Way, and I would also suggest his book, Overcoming the Archon Through Alchemy. That is such a profound starting point. Everything that you need to get started, and then some, is contained within these two books, or Vampire's Way and Overcoming the Archon Through Alchemy. And these books, this was like $10. and overcoming the Archon through alchemy was like $13. So for $24, $23 to $24, you have a legitimate foundation to literally quantum leap into your own alchemical practices and learn how to, and you can learn how to again, practice alchemy. You can learn how to work with energy, and you really have it's just a beautiful starting point. So I give this a 20 out of 10. If I could, excuse me, I give it a 10 out of 10. I'm just joking around, but let's read the back. It says, discover the best way to psychic self-defense. Learn how to overcome all your personal negative energy so that you can stop all negative thoughts. Discover how you can overcome the negative intention of others and become stronger as you do so. Learn how to stop all those negative thought forms and entities that plague so many in our modern times. This book will not only show you how to overcome, but how to thrive as you vanquish all the evil and negativity in your life. What is evil, negativity, bad intent? How do you measure them? And more importantly, how do you overcome them? For some, it is easy to see things in a black and white paradigm. Others see shades of gray and contemplate the complexity of the human mind. But whatever philosophy is used, these philosophies help very little in combating the negativity within ourselves and the bad intent of others. There is a better way to see the world and overcome the evil that beseeches so many of us. Even though our rational mind tells us that we are acting like children when we jump at the shadows that we see at the corners of our eyes, we still fear the dark. Normal psychic self-defense techniques do not work very well, and even when they do, they are very costly energetically. And that's absolutely true. There's a better way, a more powerful way, a more natural way. So John Kreiter essentially, to keep things simple and sweet, he teaches you not to necessarily shield yourself from negative energy, but to utilize it as a fuel source. And again, he teaches you to use a process known as reverse breathing. And let me just see if I can find this specific page so I can show you just a brief little demonstration. He even lays it out in this book with the diagrams on how to do the reverse breathing. So again, this has become a total study of mine. As you can see through all the highlighting, I've read this multiple times. What a beautiful book. It also teaches you, ladies and gentlemen, about predatory non-organic beings and thought forms. And through our own personal negativity, we can actually create these thought form entities. But I want you to read this. Check it out. If you have a lot of negativity in your life, if you feel like you're stuck, if you're in a living situation where you constantly feel bogged down, if there's people in your life that when you're around you feel like spiritually crippled and like you're not worthy of yourself and you just don't feel good, get this book and consider practicing the techniques within, because I think that you can really do a lot with this. This is, however, just a foundation. Reading this book is not enough. You've got to put it into practice. You've got to put it into play. There were times when I first read this book where I would walk Luna for over an hour a night, and I would practice the reverse breathing techniques. And I've practiced the contents of this book extensively. This book is like a key, but your efforts in practicing the techniques is what's going to turn the key and open the door. So what's also beautiful about this is when you learn how to reverse breathe, you can start to reverse breathe energy from trees around you into your system. You can really harness the power of energy through learning how to reverse breathe. So Vampire's Way to Psychic Self-Defense, overcome all negative energy. This is a 10 out of 10. A beautiful, beautiful book. Let's see if my camera will adjust. Even the artwork is awesome. So anyways, you guys, peace be with you. I wanted to personally thank you for watching my videos and contributing to the growth of my channel. I could not do this without you, and your interest in my content is truly what motivates me and fuels my passion for making these videos and spreading my message. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I wanted to remind you that this channel is a free educational tool that is listener supported, and if you would like to donate to my channel and donate to my cause, help make my life a little bit easier and help keep the lights on around here, you can do so by checking out the links in the description box below. There's a handful of not only ways to donate to my channel, but I also have links to different websites and different videos of mine, as well as my Amazon store, where you can check out a plethora of different health related products that I use and recommend. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, Thank you so much for your continued interest in my message, and until next time, peace be with you all.